Hey everyone! In this new video series called the No Code Community Spotlight, I'll be interviewing people who have built cool things with no code tools, as well as building widgets or clonable templates that are helping the no code community grow. If you're interested in being a part of this video series, please send me a DM over at the Pixel Geek. And this first one up, I have a local San Diegan named Chris who's built something really awesome that we can all use. Also, I have a couple other people like Mackenzie Child, Sacco, and a lot more other people in the works. So stay tuned for those. But let's get to our first guest. Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever No Code Community Spotlight. This is a series of videos that I just want to talk with a lot of the new and veteran no code people who are just making this community super awesome. And the community has been growing faster this year, and I think it's because the no code conference. But yeah, it's been a community I've been a part of for a long time, and I love to see it grow, and I love to see what people are doing with no code as far as like using no code tools or making new no code tools. And for this first episode of this series, local San Diegan, I want to introduce everyone to Chris. Hey Chris.
Hey, Nelson. Thanks for having me on here. I'm super excited to talk with you today.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Yeah, I know that we've met once, just once. Was it once or twice?
I
Once.
think just once.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've met once over at the Webflow North County San Diego meetup that I was
Yes.
hosting, and you said, "Oh, hold on, Nelson, before you leave, I want to show you something that I'm working on." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, show me." And you showed me this thing that helped people search through CMS lists, kind of like a CMS filter, something that Webflow doesn't have yet. And you showed me how easy it is to set up. And I was like, what is this? And I love that mind-blowing experience whenever a new community member shows me a new site or a new app or a new tool or something that helps other people in the community create cool things. So before we get into that cool thing you've created, tell me more about yourself. Like, how did you get into web design? How did you get into the no code community? And what made you want to create the things you're creating?
Sure. Yeah. So my background is actually software engineering.
Mm.
I've been doing that for over 10 years now, and it was just actually last year that I first learned about Webflow. Um, and I came across it because a friend of mine, Corey Haynes, who's head of marketing at Barometrics,
Oh, okay.
he built a job board for marketers using Webflow, Typeform, Zapier, a few other tools. He built it in like 3 weekends and launched this thing, and it was like immediately started generating revenue. And
Wow.
I was just, and he's never written a line of code in his life, and I was like, holy cow! Like I didn't realize how powerful the tools had gotten. And I'm over here tolling away in a text editor, and here's a guy that builds something in 3 weekends and launches it. So um,
So
yeah, that was just
so
really
you're like,
impressive to
okay,
me.
this is a real thing now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a little bit unfortunate that like because it's called or sort of the name has become no code that a lot of developers tend to have a negative first impression of it,
Yeah.
and I think it doesn't accurately reflect what's happening in the space and the amount of creativity that's being unlocked for people that don't code, don't know how to or want to know how to imagine how lines of code work in their head, and it's just I think it's amazing the amount of opportunity that's opening up for everyone.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And so coming from a software engineer, you found your friend who started making money off of a job board without writing a line of code. Um, And I guess that was your thought of, okay, how can I get in this? Or did your friend ask you for help in building something to help with his job board?
It actually started out as just curiosity on my part. You
Hmm.
know, it was seeing this completed product that it looked beautiful. You know, of course, with Webflow, it was fully responsive. So everything about it was just really impressive. And, you know, I was kind of curious, like, what else? My thought was if you can get 90 to 95% of the way with these no code tools, like what's the last like 5 or 10% like I can help do as a developer? And you know, so one of the things I was looking at on a site, I was like, oh, I wish I could quickly search for a job instead of, you know, having to scroll through this rather long list of jobs. And so I kind of, I think over the course of like a week, I was sort of working on this little side project where I wrote some JavaScript code, and it was extremely brittle. Like if he changed any of the design on the site, it would obviously break.
Yeah.
But it worked, and it was able to, you know, search through the jobs on the site.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got into it. And I didn't really think much of it, but over time, he started sending more and more people to me that were like, hey, I'm building a job board, and I've done everything you did in your job board tutorial, but I don't know how to do the search. And he's like, oh, well, my developer friend did that for me. And um, so I started writing these like search scripts for other people's job board sites. And over time, my thought was, why don't I make a tool that anyone could add this to their site without having to hire me or someone else to do it for them?
Awesome. That's amazing. And I feel like for software developers who hear that term no code being thrown around, and it's being thrown around a lot more now. Um
Yeah,
and they think that, oh, it's not for me. But hearing your story, that's exactly who it's for. People who want to build tools for people who don't want to code, you know.
right,
And it
right.
and it works for you. And so you created JetBoost from this. So tell me how that went out. And then after you give me an intro of that, I would love to see a demo of this happen, or of the demo of your tool.
Sure, sure. And before I said I'll say I don't think no code tools are just for people that don't code. Like I write code all the time, but for me now, using Webflow is faster and better looking to build, you know, a marketing page site or some other sites that I have. Like I don't want to write HTML, CSS, and JavaScript anymore if I don't have to.
Exactly. That's all basic stuff. That's what I keep telling people whenever they ask me questions at meetups. They're like, "Or is Webflow going to take away my job?" And I'm like, "No, it's going to make it easier." Like, do you really, as a software developer, do you really like taking Photoshop or some sort of static mock and coding HTML
Right,
and CSS? I mean, I know in Sublime, you don't even write HTML that much. You just type in like you write in HTML and then tab, and then it writes the basic structure for
right.
you. Isn't that no coding? Right?
You could argue that.
You know, because you're not doing everything. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's really awesome to hear, and thank you so much for being a part of this community. So now, really curious if you can give me and the audience the demo of JetBoost, and like how one could install it into their own job board or dynamic site inside of Webflow.
Yeah, definitely. So just kind of a quick overview of JetBoost. It's basically a suite of different plugins that you can add to your Webflow sites. There's currently two right now. There's the real-time search that we just talked about, and then there's also uh, recently released this month is dynamic filtering. So we'll kind of go over both of those if that works
Sure,
for you.
sure.
Do you want me to just dive into kind of how
Yeah.
it works?
So yeah, how does JetBoost work?
Sure. So this is the JetBoost dashboard. This is what you'll see once you've created a JetBoost account and then you connect your Webflow account to JetBoost. And you do this through Webflow's authentication system. So Your JetBoost never has access to your password or anything like that. It's all done through the authentication that Webflow provides.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so once you do that, it'll automatically pull in all of the Webflow sites that you give JetBoost access to. So I've got a bunch of them here.
So is it like connecting your sites? For example, when you're doing it through Zapier, it asks you, do you want to show all your sites or just one of your sites?
Yep, it's exactly the same.
Okay, cool. I'm with you now. All right, go on.
Yeah. So for this one, I've set up a little bit of a demo site. Oops, I'm on the wrong page. And what we've got here is just a basic list, list of products. Looks kind of like Product Hunt. And then we're going to set up these filters so that they actually work dynamically on the page, as well as the search. So to do that in JetBoost, you add what's called boosters. These are like the different power-ups. There's 2 right now. I will start with the search because that one's a little bit simpler. And so it pulls in your collection list for that site and asks you which one you want to make searchable. In this case, it's the products list. It'll pull in all of the fields that you can filter by or have the search look for. So we'll do name and description. And then it walks you through the Webflow setup steps, which I will go through pretty quickly because I know them so well. But I am working on it's a lot of text right now. I'm working on adding some animations and video to make the process a little bit easier for people.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But so what you do is you add in, for this first step, you add in the JetBoost class. So it knows where your search box is.
And so it gives you that, it randomly gives you a class name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The last 4 are random.
Okay.
And the reason is you may want to have, if you have multiple searches or multiple lists on the same page, so it can know which search box goes to which list.
Awesome.
So then the next step to add, and the whole point of JetBoost is to not control your design at all. Like you do all the design and setup in Webflow, and then you just use JetBoost to add the functionality.
Okay. So when you press that continue, is it looking for that class name and verifying that it's on your page, or it just goes to the next step?
It just goes to the next step, but the 5th step, the last step, is a verification.
There it is. Okay.
The reason being, otherwise you would have to publish each time after each step for it to know.
Okay.
So this next step is you add an embed element inside of the collection item, and it has a hidden input that has the item's slug.
Okay.
And this is a little trick so JetBoost can know which item is which in order to do the filtering.
Okay.
There was Vlad tweeted something about adding the collection item ID into the HTML.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, please do that.
Yeah, that would be so much better than doing the slug. And
yeah,
you can already see
awesome.
the collection ID in the collections manager.
Right. Yeah, that would be super cool.
Hopefully we get that soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's see, then back here, we're done with that one. And then the last step is to add the JetBoost script to your site, which I can actually just open up from here.
And just a disclaimer for everyone watching, soon doesn't mean anytime soon. It's just like I use that word. I don't know the roadmap. Don't take this as solid information. Yeah. Anyways.
Very, very good disclaimer.
Yeah. All right, so you've added that, and then you added some JavaScript into the custom Is it the head
Yes.
tag of the site or the whole, or the head tag of the whole site, not just the page?
Yeah, sorry, I did that kind of fast.
Yeah.
It's the head tag of the entire site.
Okay, makes sense.
Um, it'll only run on pages where it actually detects that you're using JetBoost.
Mm-hmm.
But this is so you don't have to put the JetBoost script on each page.
Okay.
And actually, I think I'll just publish from here.
And then, okay.
So now that we've published, I actually did that a little bit early, but this last step will tell you to publish your staging site and then find the URL that you added. Sorry, it's this page. Find the URL that you added it to and do the verification. Hopefully I set it up correctly.
Oh, I like that. Are those Lottie files?
Those are Lottie, and I learned that
Yes!
at the San Diego Webflow meetup.
Yes! Lottie for the win.
Yep, I love Lottie now. All right, so this is, we'll just call it product search.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now in theory, we have just created a working search on our site. I'll search for a photo. And it's searching both the names and the descriptions.
Beautiful.
Oh,
That's awesome. And I love how fast it is.
Yeah,
It's like you gave a boost to the site, like as fast as a jet. Okay, I'll stop.
I like it.
No, you don't. Okay. I already hear the groans in the comments and the tweets and whatnot. But dude, that was really fast. Like, no pun for your brand name again, but like, yeah, it seems simple. You add a field, a search field. You give it a special randomized class name that JetBoost gives you. Go through the setup process, which is mainly to put in JavaScript and to verify that it's set up correctly, and you finish. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the goal is that you don't have to mess around with any of the JavaScript code. Like, no matter what your site is, you just paste it in and it will work.
Cool. That's cool.
Then
I mean,
finish.
and you added.
I went a little overboard.
No. And overboard is if you Michael Bay it with explosions and helicopters and yeah. But that's amazing. Great job.
Yeah.
And yeah, how many people are using JetBoost now, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so there's over 100 now using it. It's only been out for a few months.
Nice.
So yeah, it's exciting. It's probably the best, things that anyone have told me is they've been able to win Webflow clients or convert their clients from WordPress to Webflow because of some of the features that JetBoost has provided, where there was maybe a little hang up on the clients and that they, could do dynamic filtering or something like that. And people are now able to do that in Webflow.
See, that's what I think is the beauty of the no code community. They see new opportunities to help other people, and when someone makes something new, it's like a domino effect, because it not only helps you as a software developer, but it helps the no-code designer developer person, and it helps their clients. And clients can then help their clients and focus more on their business and not having to worry about their website or worry of trying to figure out how to maintain or edit their site. Everything just works.
Right. Definitely.
Oh, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. And I guess people would be wondering right now, okay, so JetBoost, how much does it cost?
Yep. It's $9 a month for the annual subscription, and that gets you so each of the different boosters is a different subscription, but you can use any one of them on unlimited sites once you unlock it. So
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
okay, makes sense.
it's kind of like a pay once, use it everywhere.
Nice. Nice, awesome. Well, I'm glad you got over 100 people using it on their websites. It seems super beneficial to the no code community. Yeah, yeah. Anything else? Do you want to say about JetBoost, or what else you're working on for your next step with JetBoost?
Sure. I could run through the filter setup, but I think instead maybe I'll just show you kind of what some other people are doing with it,
Oh yeah.
because it's way cooler than anything I've done with it yet. So I don't know if you've seen this freelancer directory
Oh
site.
yeah. Connor
Yeah.
Finlayson.
Yeah. Yep. So he
He
built
is
this really
awesome.
cool um, freelancer site, and he's used JetBoost in a number of places to do filtering on, to help clients find the exact freelancer that they're looking for. So maybe it's in a specific location, um, maybe with specific skills, and you can even search for skills using JetBoost on his site.
Oh yeah, that's so multi filters happening right now. You have Hamilton and a certain skill.
Yes, yes. And you can select multiple of each one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And you can search someone's name
Hi, Kyle.
if you want to get really down to the nitty gritty with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, that wow. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that the Webflow community has been asking for, and it's awesome that you've created it and making it super simple for people to put in. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah. So, what else are you
Thank
doing
you.
with JetBoost in the future? Or is there anything we should know about?
Um, yeah, it's right now it's I've had a number of different requests for certain things for filtering. Supporting select fields is a big one that should be coming soon. And sorting is right now it's only filtering, but adding sorting as well. That's also coming soon. Um, so trying to get those out the door, and then kind of the next big feature after that is to be determined. But there's a number of people that are using JetBoost pretty tightly integrated with Member Stack now.
Nice.
So maybe looking at some more opportunities there to collaborate. And I mean, people are building some crazy things that I didn't even think were possible yet. So
It sounds like the story of Webflow, where the founders were just creating something, and next thing you know, people are creating things that they would never think about. I mean, just recently, Sako, I think is his name, from Thailand. I
yeah,
have him on the list to record. Hopefully, I get him on the channel. But he created, I don't know if you saw the PlayStation 4 menu UI.
yeah, that was insane.
Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought
Yeah,
someone would create something like that in Webflow, and you're experiencing that same feeling too with JetBoost. So it's amazing. And like I said, the domino
yeah,
effect, it's helping so many people, and you're seeing this Webflow community and no code community grow in ways that you've never experienced before. So yeah, thank you so much for showing us JetBoost and sharing your backstory and how you got into and how you got into the no code community. And if you had any piece of advice for a software developer who usually asks the question, you know, uh, I don't want to use a no code tool. Like, I okay, let me rephrase it because I'm so editing this. um, if you had one piece of advice for a software developer who asked, "Are no code tools going to take away my job?" What would you say to them?
I mean, I would say definitely not. because if anything, more software is going to be created now using these tools, and none of these tools can do everything. So there are going to be tremendous opportunities for developers to come in and add things to no code. Oh my God,
It's
to
okay.
add things to no code tools, um, or even convert. Maybe projects start as no code, and then eventually they get to the point where they're um, the business is looking for more of a custom solution. Like, I just think the larger that the software ecosystem grows, as more and more people are creating, the more opportunities there are for everyone, both code and no code.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you heard it from a software developer. He's in the no code community and he's coding. So it's a win for everyone. Thank you so much, Chris, for your time. Thank you for showing us how JetBoost and your CMS filter works. It looks amazing. Yeah, jetboost.io. And what's your Twitter handle?
It's C_Spags.
Okay. Follow him on Twitter as well. Thank you so much, Chris. And yeah, have a good night.